and watch all my mates set off from the start line and experience what everybody else's family and friends and fans have to deal with the rest of the time. And it's awful. It's really brutal.
I met a Gypsy.
So how do you process the extreme ends of risk at the TT or any of these races that you do?
I guess it's hard, really. It's hard to say, like, you process the risk. It's worse for the people around you. It's worse for your family and your friends, your girlfriend or whatever, your wife. It's brutal for them because they don't get that absolute ecstasy feeling that you get of racing it, that amazing adrenaline rush, the best feeling in the world that you get from racing the TT. They don't get that. They just have to watch someone they love racing around there, and that's deal
with the consequences if the worst case happens.
And that's what's brutal. But I think they all still somewhat understand how much it means to us to race around that place. Dealing with a risk as such, like you don't. You know that you can't make a mistake, and that's about it. You don't really think too much of it. Aside from that, you know that the bike that you ride, the team that you ride for, has to be good. Because if it isn't, if you have a mechanical, okay, you're dead. Like if something goes wrong with a bike, that's going to be it. So it needs to be the full package. It's not just down to your own mistakes as well. Like everything has to be in line. You have to be in the right place mentally, and it's a thing that they've worked on in the past couple of years when there's been maybe a crash out on track. So like, for instance, 2019, my teammate, my best mate, Daley Matheson, he got killed in the first Superbike race. And then I went out the next day and raced, and people were like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I need it. I need to keep going. Like for a start, he wouldn't want me to stop. We'd like spoke about it and everything, but it's this weird thing of mentally processing what's going on and seeing other riders and what happens, and the event doesn't stop when that happens. It keeps going. Like no one would want it to stop. Like I wouldn't want it to stop if something happened to me. You know, we all love what we do. No one's putting a gun to our head going, you have to do this dangerous race. No one. Like we're all there because we absolutely love it and are absolutely addicted to it. And yeah, like dealing with that sort of aftermath, and there's like a great support network for it at the TT and at the road races and stuff now for like this sort of afterwards of things that happen. But like it's sort of dealing with that is the more difficult part off the bike. When you get on the bike, we're back into that mindset where everything goes away, and it was easy for me when I was on a bike. As soon as I get back off, it was hard for me. And it's tough to deal with that side of things, but we all want to be there. Like there's a lot of people, or not a lot of people, there's some people that suggest, like say this race shouldn't be allowed and stuff. People jump out of planes and parachute. If you don't pull a parachute, you're gonna die. Like there's lots of dangerous things in the world, and we're absolutely living it to the maximum. There's nothing that gets close to the adrenaline rush and the feeling that we get doing this. We're like getting to live our life way more doing the thing that we're doing. Granted, there's a risk, but there is doing a lot of sports, isn't there? Like all the sports that we love, there's a pretty big risk involved with it. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't love them so much because they're less exciting. Go play garden balls or, you know, like it's less exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, dealing with the risk is harder. It was harder for me. It was harder for me this year than ever before, because I have now a bunch of friends that race a TT, and I wasn't able to go to that place of getting on a bike and being focused on what I'm doing
and switching off
and switching off to all the other worries. I just had to stand on the sideline, actually in the commentary booth or the studio, and watch all my mates set off from the start line and experience what everybody else's family and friends and fans have to deal with the rest of the time. And it's awful. It's really brutal, because I was like scared shitless for all my friends who were out there. And then there's a red flag because someone broke down or someone had a crash, and you're like, who is it? And nobody knows. The course is that big. Like, the organisers know. Sorry, not nobody. The organisers know where it is and what's happened, because they've got cameras everywhere. But the TV doesn't know, and then we don't know. Like, nobody, fans-wise, spectator-wise, has a clue what's happened, who it is.
There was a guy that died at the start of the week, and that's the first thought I had. I was like, is it any one of the boys we know?
Yeah, it's wild, isn't it? Because you don't know for so long as well, and it's not nice it been anyone. But your initial natural thought is like, is it one of my friends, close friends, mates, or whatever? You like get this horrible sinking feeling, and then they roll back in. You're like, oh, they're all right. Or a lot of us take a number in our suit or something. A lot of riders take maybe a little piece of paper or something, or they memorize their number. I'll like give my phone to one of my mechanics or something, and then I know my own phone number. So if there's a red flag or whatever happens, everybody tries to do it where they ring someone to go, it's not me, I'm all right. So then like the team and the family and stuff find out like a bit quicker, because sometimes it can be hours before anybody really knows what's happened. So yeah, try and do that so I can call the boys of the team and go, look, like, I'm good, I'm stuck at Ramsey or whatever. Or even sometimes if your bike's broken down, like, because they don't always stop the race. If someone like crashes, even like if someone gets killed, if they're not in the track, they don't stop it unless they need to get medical service to them. But sometimes they can often get from outside roads or land a helicopter close. So they'll keep the race going for until they really have to stop it. So sometimes, yeah, like if you just don't come around on the live timing and the TV hasn't showed you've broken down, or the live timing just doesn't have you going through the next sector, then like nobody knows what's happened to you. So you try and give them a call and be like, look, I've just broke down, like I'm pissed off, but
I'm alive.
I'm here, I'm good.
Yeah.
And that's, I guess, the side to it a lot of people don't see. That's like, that's tough for everybody. That's tough for the team. Like, imagine being a mechanic, man. Like that I couldn't deal with. Like, not just a pit stop, but like
getting the bike ready and saying, this is fine, dude.
You know, putting someone's wheels in and suspension in and the brakes on and stuff like that, making sure they're clean and prepped and all good.
I don't like letting my friends ride my dirt bikes, because I'm like, bro, I'm the mechanic, and that's probably fucked.
I'm the same, like terrible, not a good mechanic.
I haven't changed this air filter in 2 years. Are you willing to ride this motorcycle?
Yeah, please sign a waiver before you do.
Yeah.
But like, imagine doing that and going like, right, set off down Bray Hill at 200 miles an hour, because you literally don't get a warm-up lap, don't get a sighting lap. You wake up in the morning, get your kit on, walk up to the start line, get on your bike, and go from not riding a bike at all that day.
Maybe for a few days.
We got a good few days in this practice week where, like, we had bad weather and people didn't ride for a few days. And then you go up to the start line and set off and go from standstill to 200 mile an hour in sixth gear in the first mile. That's mental, isn't it?
Dude, standing on the start, like when I did the start, right? And I was looking back for most of it, because that's where all the action is, right? And so I get out there and I was allowed to walk on the thing. And then so I turned from looking at the start line to looking the other way. And I'm like, dude, that doesn't end. Like, when you're sat on the start line, there's no corner that you can see. It just goes. And then you hear every bike just gone.
Yeah.
Like, bro, wild.
Bit of a jump as you go. There's a crossroads, maybe only, it's not even a kilometre, is it? At the top of Bray Hill. And there's a crossroads there and you actually get airborne over there. Within the first kilometre, you
Just
airborne
to really get the ticket.
in fifth gear.
Just
and
to
then
get the
click
ticket
6.
going. Oh, disgusting. Bro.
Mean, isn't it?
So you have that mate that passes away and you said you'd spoken about it. What's that conversation like? Because I'm sure that's a very behind closed doors conversation that probably doesn't happen often.
Nah, I think most of us are actually are a little bit the other way. A lot of us as friends, it sounds bad to even say it, but it's like really morbid, but like almost joke about it. Like joke about dying around the TT, which sounds like mental. But like we had with your closer friends, you do have the serious conversation and you know the risk behind it and you go like you prepared for it, like you prepared for the fact that what if? And you're like, yeah, like I know the risk. I know the risk that it carries and like I'm still doing it because I love it. I love that feeling. I'm addicted to it. You know, the tough side to that is like people got families and stuff. Daly had a kid and a wife. You know, that's tough. That was real tough for me seeing that after, and you know, it's brutal because it's not just him, is it?
Mm.
You know, it's them that has to deal with it as well. But also, Nat, his wife, is like incredibly understanding, and she was always like amazing with it. She supported his racing, and you know, we wouldn't be who we are without the TT. I don't mean like in a profile sense. I mean,
as a person, yeah.
The person I am, I wouldn't. Someone took the TT away from me. I've seen the person I've been the last.
yeah. We got a glimpse of this
the last 13 weeks. I've been horrible.
Yeah.
Like I feel like a bad person. Like I like crave it. I feel like a drug addict that's desperate for that fix, and I need it. And I genuinely feel like angry, and it's kept me up at night, like waking up in cold sweats, thinking about it and thinking, why am I not racing? Why has this happened to me? Why? And like tortures you because I'm like, I need to race there. Like I need that fix of racing around the TT, that buzz. And the fact that I have to wait 12 months for it again, that thought is killing me as well.
So what about fear when you're riding? Like, is that even a part of your...
Can't be. Because it's one more thought than one, isn't it? You only have that one and it's focused on what you're doing. You think about the next corner and your line. Like exactly what you need to be doing on the bike to be on the right line all the time. And that's it. So there's no fear. There's fear on the start line. So for me, I arrive to the start line as late as I can. With any race, I've always been quite like that because the nerves and everything. If I'm like sat down on the start line or even sat in the pit box at a circuit race, like I start overthinking it and getting in my head and thinking about the race and thinking about the danger or whatever. And it all like gets too much then. So I like turn up at the last possible second, put my helmet and gloves on, get on the bike and go. So I ain't got time to overthink it. Like I'm better when it's completely unthought about and just go. So I do that at the TT, but you still, like you can't arrive there 10 seconds before you ride. I've tried, but you can't. You have to be, you know, you're there 5-10 minutes maybe. And that's still enough time to think, you know, it's the TT and still your dad comes over and says he loves you, and the team, where the team are normally firing you up, the team are all like, just go careful, all right? Don't like, just bring it home. Don't like the opposite. Everybody's the opposite to what they're normally like. They're just telling you to bring it home and go careful and stuff instead of smash them up, go win it. It's that straight away gets to you, but you're already feeling like that. You're already feeling like that anyway. But that feeling, I think, is so hard to describe because it just comes naturally, and you felt it. You've been there. Like that just comes to everyone. That like it's almost like a anxiety feeling, isn't it? It's like an ominous anxiety, like overbearing, like
there's just something like, when they say there's something in the air, that's what it's like. Yeah, it's like, and yet you have to breathe it in. You know, it's like it's affects everybody that's there.
100%.
You just finished watching a clip from the full 3-hour podcast. You're on our Clips channel. The full podcast live on the Gypsy Tales podcast channel. It's linked right here. Go over to that channel, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and make sure you never miss a full episode of the Gypsy Tales podcast. If you don't want to watch it on YouTube, you want to watch it on the go, you can also head to our iTunes or Spotify to get the full 3-hour podcast in audio format.
I met a gypsy.